What is up, everybody? Hello. I don't know what just happened there with our live stream. I don't know what just happened, but we are live now. We got a lot of stuff to cover in today's video. We're going to start off with the live stream today. We're going to talk about Elon Musk and Bitcoin. What he said about Tesla. Everyone knows what's going on there. Some big impacts there. After that, we're going to talk about what's going on with Bitcoin ESG. A couple of environmental concerns going on with El Salvador. Some people aren't too happy with what's going on in El Salvador. Other people are pretty excited. So we will see what happens there. Moving on, we're going to talk about Etoro, because the Etoro CEO came out and spoke about Bitcoin crypto. He even said it could be they said it could be a $10 trillion market cap fairly soon. So we're going to talk about that as well. After, we're going to talk about Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey, the battle of the billionaires, the Bitcoin billionaires. Jack Dorsey's come out, said a lot recently about Bitcoin, some exciting stuff. Elon Musk has been tweeting a bunch as well. We're going to go over Bitcoinization, Elon's taxes, Elon's homes, and countries that are even looking and talking about banning crypto, which might not be great long term. So if you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe to my channel, like the video. It helps get these out to more people. Really helps me out a lot. And I see all you guys, Rachel, Corbin, Daniel, what is up, A. Garcia, Harshit, what is up, everybody? We got a lot of stuff to go over. Make sure to like the video, helps me out a lot, but let's just get right into it. I don't want to waste any time. Let's just get right into today's video. Starting off, something's up with the screen. Let's get this fixed. Here we go. Boom. Elon Musk, he came out and spoke earlier, just the other day, about Tesla now accepting Bitcoin. For those of you who don't know, I want to make this, first of all, more like a conversation. So anything that's on the screen, you tell me what you think about. I'll tell you guys what I think about it, and I don't want to just lecture and talk the whole time because that's boring. No one cares about that. So I really want to make this a conversation. So if you guys are live with me, make sure to just comment on anything you see on the screen, anything you want to talk about, because that really makes it more interesting. It's like more like a FaceTime rather than just someone lecturing on a live stream. I want to make it more like a FaceTime. But so I don't know if you saw, but Elon Musk the other day came out and said that Tesla will accept Bitcoin again as crypto miners use more clean energy. So if you hadn't heard earlier, Tesla said they would accept Bitcoin earlier in the year, causing Bitcoin's price to skyrocket. Afterwards, then Elon Musk said, you know what? We no longer want to accept Bitcoin because of environmental issues. And then his tweet that he came out and said was back on May 12th, just about a month ago. He said Tesla suspended vehicle purchases using Bitcoin. They're not going to be selling, and they won't be selling any Bitcoin, and they intend to use it in transactions as soon as possible, as soon as mining becomes more sustainable. But at that moment, he said, you know what, we are no longer going to accept Bitcoin. This caused the market to crash. Then just the other day, on June 13th, he came out and said that when there's a confirmation of reasonable clean energy usage by miners with positive future trend, Tesla will resume allowing Bitcoin transactions. So when there's about 50% of miners using clean energy, renewable energy resources to mine Bitcoin, then they will allow Bitcoin to be used to buy Tesla. And he said this in response to an article from Cointelegraph, essentially explaining how Elon Musk is manipulating the market. He is, it's like a pump and dump. And he said that's not the case at all. He said, look, if it was a pump and dump, if he was manipulating the market, then Tesla would have bought everything. They would have sold all of their Bitcoin holdings, bought everything back. That's what he said. He's like, so I'm not manipulating it for like personal gain. He's just telling people what he's doing. If he was manipulating it, trying to do a pump and dump scenario where he would like profit off of all this, he would have sold all his Bitcoin. And he said Tesla only sold about 10% of their Bitcoin. They didn't sell the entire thing. They just sold off a small portion to prove that it is easy to liquidate Bitcoin, and they were just doing that as like a proof of concept to show them for the future. What's up, everybody? And so that's what he was basically saying. He's like, look, we've always said that we're going to use Bitcoin. We only sold 10% a couple weeks ago, back in May. Back in the first quarter of 2021, they only sold a 10%, a small portion of what they had. They never planned on getting rid of it forever. They were just waiting to see what Bitcoin could do with energy consumption. Can it be more energy efficient? And once they made some of those changes, then they could go back to using it. So at this moment, you still can't buy Tesla with Bitcoin, but they're saying they're working towards that in the future. You guys are saying that he can't manipulate the market more than the government and the news headlines. Yeah, I mean, like, you obviously can see with the crypto market today, the crypto market is up 9.52%. This isn't all because of Elon Musk, but it is really because we had a couple big announcements. One was with Bitcoin having a major upgrade called a major Bitcoin upgrade that will be going into place in November 2021. That was the main reason. But then Elon Musk coming out and talking about Bitcoin, saying about Tesla, that definitely helped. It didn't hurt it, at least in my opinion. Like, they have the Bitcoin Taproot upgrade, but also Elon Musk tweeting about it, only gonna help. Right. I mean, yeah, he did sell 10%, and it was one of the worst months. I believe it was the third or fourth worst month ever for crypto in its entire history. So it was bad, but you got to remember, for the year, we're still doing really well. When you're looking at like Ethereum, when you're looking at Bitcoin, things are still doing pretty well. But so that's what Elon Musk said. Next story is with El Salvador. You probably heard, but El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender, the first country to ever do that. And what happened is they said after the law passed, they said, now what we're going to do is we're actually going to mine Bitcoin using volcanoes because it's 100% energy efficient. They said that it is 100% clean, 100% renewable, and zero emissions. They said that things are going to evolve very quickly, and this is something they're very excited about. They said they are very excited to be able to be the first country ever to make Bitcoin legal tender. That means that any store, any business will have to eventually accept Bitcoin. They accept dollars, US dollars now, but they also want to accept Bitcoin. They did this because of economic conditions in the country are not great, and they said, look, you know, what we want to do moving forward is not be tied to the US dollar, because if regulators in Washington, D.C. say that they want to make a change and it negatively affects the US dollar, well, then it will negatively affect El Salvador's economy, and they didn't want to be solely tied to that. So they said, look, what we're going to do is we're going to make Bitcoin legal tender. We already know that there's going to be 21 million Bitcoin ever mined. There's only going to be a certain number mined ever in existence, and that number's stable. So while Bitcoin's price is going to fluctuate a lot, they know the main, like, you know how much basically money is going to be in supply. With the US, you know, they could print $2 trillion for a stimulus package, and let's say that could negatively affect the economy. But with Bitcoin, you can't just create more. It's 21 million. That's what will ever be mined. However, some people were not too happy about this. The International Monetary Fund came out and said that they are not too happy about what is going on here. They're saying it promotes illegal activities. It's not the best for the economy. And a lot of other countries are actually worried about this as well. But this brings us into next topic, which is the Bitcoin Mining Council. So El Salvador, they had said that they're going to use volcanoes. Volcanoes are more energy efficient. They can take the energy from volcanoes. It's 100% clean, and it's a solution to Bitcoin mining and the Bitcoin energy consumption problem. They said it's a good solution. So what happened is they said, Bitcoin Mining Council, they debuted the other day, it was about last week, and they said that this council is voluntary. It's an open forum where they talk about Bitcoin energy consumption, and it's just a network of miners who are committed to the core principles of transparency, maybe laying out a plan moving forward to what to do with energy reporting. So the person who really had a big role in getting this entire group together was MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor. He helped the association come together, and he said really the whole point of it is to calm some fears about Bitcoin mining, energy consumption, especially after Tesla came out and said that they were no longer going to accept Bitcoin because of energy consumption problems. So Elon Musk was at this meeting. The CEO of MicroStrategy was at this meeting. A lot of big name people in the crypto world were at this meeting just to figure out what are there going to be, how transparent are Bitcoin miners going to be about energy consumption moving forward, because right now there's no regulations. This isn't like OPEC, or this isn't going to put restrictions into place. This is more just about transparency, educating the public, and like explaining what the best practices are for Bitcoin mining, because there can't be one governing body right now, at least, that can say, look, you can't mine Bitcoin unless it's this way, because you could just go to another country. For example, China. China has said that they are, banning Bitcoin mining in Inner Mongolia because of energy consumption issues. So then people just leave there and they go somewhere else. And that's what people are going to do moving forward. So it's very hard to say you have to have these policies in place for mining Bitcoin, because someone could just move to another country, do it somewhere else. But what they can say is, look, moving forward, these are like best practices in the industry. We want to be transparent, educate people, because one way that we can have widespread adoption of Bitcoin in the future is going to be by making it more using clean energy and green energy resources, because right now a lot of major institutions don't want to invest in Bitcoin because of that energy consumption problem. A lot of companies, Fortune 500 companies, have certain requirements for what they invest in, saying it has to be a renewable resource company, it has to be sustainable, and things like that. And if it doesn't meet certain requirements, well, then that can't fit in their investment portfolio. So even though Bitcoin miners can do whatever they want to mine Bitcoin, it would eventually help it long term if people, in my opinion, if they have certain practices in place that would then make large companies more comfortable with investing in Bitcoin and not really worrying about it moving forward. So that's what I think about it. I think it's, even though you can mine Bitcoin however you want, you can move to another country if let's say like China bans it. Well, you can always move somewhere else, and you don't have to follow the certain regulations. But the thing is, it's better for Bitcoin long term if they can make it more energy efficient, because more people are going to want to invest in it. More of the big money players are actually going to want to get into it. So I think this council is actually pretty interesting. Something that I found very progressive, very positive for Bitcoin long term. The Bitcoin Mining Council. It's just voluntary. You don't have to go if you're a Bitcoin miner. Just anyone can go if they want, for who's like a Bitcoin miner, big person in the crypto industry, and it just helps out a lot. Moving on, you guys if you haven't heard of Etoro. Etoro is a crypto investing app. It is one that I use a lot, actually. And what happened the other day is their CEO came out and said that Bitcoin is the king of crypto. It's here to stay long term. And they also came out and said that there's going to be over $10 trillion move into crypto over the next 10 years. That's a prediction. So the CEO and co-founder of Etoro, named Yoni Asia, came out and said that DeFi is a bit of a wild west right now. We're still super early on in terms of crypto, decentralized finance applications, smart contracts, and he says right now there's no regulation, no real financial institutions, but there's a lot of amazing innovation taking place, a lot of projects being worked on that eventually will be integrated into major financial corporations and other institutions and centralized companies. So moving forward, they're saying that, look, right now we're in the very early stages. Bitcoin's never going to go anywhere. It may not be the top position, but it's always going to be one of the leaders in the space. And they said that they think Bitcoin is the king of crypto, and they would be surprised if we don't see it reach significant gains over the next 5 to 10 years, especially with the small percentage that we're seeing of people in crypto right now. It seems like a lot of people are talking about crypto, are in the crypto world, but still we are at the very early stages in terms of penetration of how many people, how many institutions actually own Bitcoin. For example, if you're looking at Fortune 500 companies, how many of them actually own Bitcoin on their balance sheet? Very few. Only the most innovative companies like Tesla, Square, like only the most innovative companies. We don't see companies like Coca-Cola or Procter & Gamble own Bitcoin. They're not touching it. So once we see those companies start to invest, once we see Bitcoin ETFs, Ethereum ETFs start to be approved, that's when we'll start to see Bitcoin's price really start to take off. And that's when we'll start to see the crypto market in general go from being about a $1.7 trillion market cap to being $10 trillion market cap down the road, really compete with gold and even potentially the US stock market down the road, just because you got to remember that crypto is global. Everyone in the entire world can buy, sell, trade crypto, and it's meant to be decentralized. So it's going to have a lot more room to grow than, for example, gold or the stock market. There's so many more projects, so many more use cases for crypto long term that have not even started, have not even been recognized yet. What are you guys saying? You've heard of eToro? If you guys are new here, please be sure to like this stream. Helps out a lot. If we get this, let's see if we can get to like maybe 100 likes. See how many people we could get in this stream. Corbin Dahl, Rigo, Robinhood wallets. No news there. No news on Robinhood. Rigo. Okay, next topic I do want to go over is with Jack Dorsey. So I don't know if you guys heard with Jack Dorsey, but what happened is Jack Dorsey suggested that Twitter likely will integrate Lightning Network very soon, which essentially would mean that they could process and transact with Bitcoin payments on Twitter and on the platform. He said in a tweet the other day that he really appreciates Lightning Network powered by messaging app Sphinx Chat. And he said it's only a matter of time before it is on Twitter, before it's on other social media platforms, and before people can pay with Bitcoin down the road. Well, like whether you're talking about a social media app, whether you're talking about any store online, it's only a matter of time before we see everyone be able to use Bitcoin for no matter what you want to do. Jack Dorsey is one of the biggest crypto bulls out there. He is so pro Bitcoin, so pro crypto. He has talked about it for a while. He has said even in an interview recently that if he could, he would drop everything to work on a Bitcoin project, on a crypto project. It is something he's very passionate about. He was at the conference in Miami, the Bitcoin conference, and he is really becoming like the Elon Musk of the crypto world. Elon Musk tweets all the time. Some people hate him now after what he's done with the markets. There's a lot of people who still love him. But Jack Dorsey, on the other hand, has never said anything to really manipulate the market. First of all, he doesn't have as many followers, like he doesn't have as big of an influence. People don't really pay attention to what he says as much, even though he does have two of the biggest companies in the world, Square and Twitter. He founded both of those. But that being said, still, Jack Dorsey doesn't have the influence as Elon Musk, but now many people are looking at him saying, you know what? Maybe we should listen to Jack Dorsey a bit more. He's the founder of Twitter. He's the founder of Square. He's made a lot of big calls and great calls in the right direction for crypto moving forward. He wants to integrate Bitcoin into Twitter. He wants to do as much as he possibly can to grow crypto moving forward. So people are actually starting to really like him and even start to prefer him in some cases over Elon Musk, who's been tweeting everything, and people don't like that when he tweets something bad, the market goes down 10%. When he tweets something good, the market goes up 10%. People don't like all of that going on because it's just annoying. When you wake up in the morning, you're like, what did Elon Musk say today? What did he say today? And then you realize, oh, he said that Tesla's not accepting Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin drops 10%. People don't like that. So I feel like Jack Dorsey's a much more neutral party who is not going to say anything bad about crypto, not going to say anything great. He's only trying to push it forward and say, this is what we're doing, this is what we're developing. I'm trying to get it onto Twitter, one of his companies. He's trying to get it onto Square. He's trying to integrate it more into his companies, but he's not going to try and say anything that's really related to the market in general. He's just saying, look, this is what I'm doing. This is the plan. And I personally like that. I like that a lot. Obviously, I do like Elon Musk. I think he has, great plans for crypto moving forward. Obviously, with Tesla, can have a big influence. But right now, we'll just have to wait and see What happens moving forward? Is Elon Musk going to tweet something out tomorrow that's going to make people upset? Or is he just going to lay low for a bit? But we'll have to see. Either way though, today Bitcoin has been doing well because of what Elon Musk said. I don't know if you guys have seen, but JP Morgan came out and said something. They commented about what was going on in El Salvador. So El Salvador made Bitcoin legal tender. We all know this. We've talked about it. Everyone's talked about it. But what people aren't talking about is that this really opens the door for many countries right now. Many countries, they have like a door open for them saying, look, El Salvador was the first country struggling economically, not in the best of positions, but they moved to Bitcoin as they made Bitcoin legal tender. And now it's like other countries can look at them and say, we can use them as an example. They did it, it's working, it's not working, and we could go ahead and do it as well. So a lot of people are very nervous about the impacts of this long term. I personally think that what happened with Bitcoin in El Salvador is a great move. I think it's smart for El Salvador. They're not the biggest economy in the world by any means. They are struggling economically. And one of their concerns, like there are positives and negatives, but one of their concerns was issues with US regulators making a change and potentially negatively impacting the economy in El Salvador. And what they do is now that with a Bitcoin as legal tender, they said that essentially they're still going to accept the US dollar. US dollar is still accepted everywhere, but they're going to also mandate that Bitcoin can be accepted anywhere for all economic activity. The upside to this is that, yes, there's a limited supply of Bitcoin. We know there's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin ever in existence. Like, there's a lot of things we already know are going to be set in place with Bitcoin. Obviously, the price fluctuates, but we know the basics of Bitcoin, the underlying aspects of it. The problem with this is that in this JP Morgan report, they explain how it might have unintended consequences of laws and regulations that significantly predate and understandably did not anticipate cryptocurrency. For example, they said it might make it a little bit harder to negotiate, or they said it could imperil negotiations with the IMF. So there are a couple of issues that could pop up if they go solely and only into Bitcoin. How are other countries going to treat El Salvador? How are they going to treat Bitcoin moving forward, that now it is like a country's currency? What is that going to mean moving forward? So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. But me personally, I think it was a good move by El Salvador. I think we're going to see a lot more countries now, in what many people are calling Bitcoinization. I think we're going to see a lot more countries actually go ahead and allow Bitcoin and pass Bitcoin to be legal tender. Whether they're struggling economically, maybe we'll see some bigger countries do it as well. I think at first we'll see smaller countries, developing nations that maybe aren't in the best and most sound positions economically. Down the road, we'll probably see more and more larger economies do it, but at first we're going to start off with the smaller ones. We'll see how that probably goes, and that the bigger countries are going to look towards those to say, how did it work out? What happened? Because it's not just going to be a switch immediately, but even for El Salvador, not going to be a switch immediately. But it is something that is on a lot of people's minds, has a lot of positives, a lot of negatives, and we'll just have to wait and see how it actually plays out. Moving on, I don't know if you've heard, but Elon Musk actually came out the other day and people were commenting about how little he pays in taxes. And I found the story really interesting, so I want to share it with you. Because Elon Musk paid less than $70,000 in taxes in 2015 and 2017. No, it's only 3.2% of, like, that would be the rate he pays. Most people pay 25 all the way up to 55%, depending on where you live, what your income is. And so how is he only paying 3.27% when he's worth over $100 billion? And the problem is that he explains on Twitter, what most people don't realize with Elon Musk is that his salary is $0 from Tesla. He gets paid $0 as the CEO from Tesla and doesn't get anything. But the thing is whenever he gets, like, every year he gets paid in stock options for certain performance aspects that he hits. If the company's stock price reaches a certain price, all these things are already put in place, so he gets paid in stock options. And what happens is every year, every couple years, when the stock options are expiring, he has no choice but to sell them, and he has to pay taxes on that. So some years, if he doesn't get paid anything really from stock options, then he makes no money. He doesn't sell. He says he doesn't sell really anything ever. He doesn't sell Tesla stock. He only sells it if he has to because of the stock options. So that's what happened with Elon Musk. Someone on Twitter came out and said, explained really what's going on with Elon Musk and Tesla. And Elon Musk said, exactly, only time I sell Tesla stock is when stock options are expiring. I have no choice. By the way, I'll continue to pay income taxes in California, proportionate to my time in the state, which is and will be significant. So a lot of people just weren't happy about Elon Musk saying that he really doesn't, like, people figured out he doesn't pay a lot in taxes. They're like, how does the richest person in the world, one of the richest people in the world, not pay taxes? Like, or pay $70,000 in taxes? Like, I pay more than $70,000 in taxes. So how does that happen? But he explained, and, you know, people reacted a little differently. I think technically he's not getting paid from Tesla a salary. He gets paid $0. So it makes sense. It's like people don't like the idea of it, but it does make sense. If you don't get paid, if your salary is $0, you don't have to pay taxes. If the only time he actually sells stock is when he has to from stock options expiring, well, that's why it goes on. It just is interesting that someone who's worth $150 billion pays nothing, pays $70,000 in taxes. That's like $1 to him. That's like nothing. Interesting. Next story is with Elon Musk and his houses. So I wanted to get out, we got a little bit on of a Elon Musk train, but these were both pretty interesting. So Elon Musk said the other day that he sold all of his houses a while back. It was a whole big thing in the news. Elon Musk said, I'm selling all my physical possessions. I'm not keeping anything. Everything I'm just selling. And what actually happened is he said he sold all of his houses, but he kept one in California, and where he lives right now, he said he lives on Starbase. That's in Boca Chica, Starbase. That's where SpaceX operates. And he says he rents his little house, which is $50,000 from SpaceX. He says it's kind of awesome. It's the other house he has, which he kept in California, he doesn't really live in. He just rents it out for events. That's the whole purpose of it. So makes you think. The richest person in the world, do you believe that he has only one big house? Like, he has one house that's only used to rent out for events, and the other house is a $50,000 like shack that's in the in the SpaceX facility, like on the property of SpaceX that he rents from them. You would think that he has it's hard to imagine that one of the world's richest people lives in like a $50,000 shack on SpaceX's facility, just on the grounds of the facility. There's no pictures of what it looks like, but something worth $50,000 that's on a company's like base, it's not going to be anything too special. It must be like very, very simple. It can't be anything nice. It can't be $50,000. That can't be anything nice at all for like that much money on the base of SpaceX. It's crazy to think that one of the richest people in the world, who could spend $10 million, $100 million like it's nothing, lives in a $50,000 house. I guess it just doesn't mean, it shows that he doesn't care about physical possessions. He says his whole goal is he wants to be able to focus on what is going on with colonizing Mars, getting rockets into, getting humans up to Mars, working on building Tesla and Neuralink and all of his other companies. He says if he wanted to build a house, he would want to make it perfect and spend a lot of time actually designing it, making it perfect. And that takes away time from like things that are important. I was watching an interview the other day, and that was basically what he was saying. He's like, look, if I wanted to build a house, like my dream house, he could, but it would take a lot of time away from doing things that are like actually productive, things that are actually going to be useful for the human race. And his whole main goal, everything he always talks about, is doing something that is useful for the human race, long term. And he doesn't see building a house being useful, even though it could be something that he likes. He might spend some time in it. Most of his time, in the interview I was watching, he said he spends at work. He works most of the time anyways. And his number one goal is to be, colonize Mars, build Tesla, work on Neuralink, the boring company. So he doesn't want to dedicate even 2% of his time or 1% of his time to building a house. Because even though there'd be architects and everyone working on it, he said it just would be a waste of time. So pretty interesting thought process he has there. But it is good for building a $1 billion company, building a $100 billion space company, building a Tesla, which is worth a couple $100 billion. It is the best mindset for that. Last story of the day is with Netherlands. A Dutch official came out and said the other day that they think crypto is going to crash very soon, and that the Netherlands needs to ban crypto now before it does, so people don't lose their fortune. And according to this official, they explained how cryptocurrencies right now are unsuitable as a unit of account and means of payment outside the criminal circuit. It's used as a store of value, is based on the hope that cryptocurrencies will one day replace real money, but that's not going to happen. Okay, let's break this down. So what he's saying is that he doesn't believe in crypto at all. So he wants to just ban it for the entire country. Do you think he maybe missed out on it? Maybe. Do you think? He obviously hasn't made any money in crypto, because he wouldn't be saying to ban everything. But this is a really closed-minded outlook to what's going to happen with crypto long term. If you think about it, is there going to be a decentralized way that people can make payments? Yes. Is it going to be Bitcoin? Maybe. Is it going to be another? It's going to be something. But there's going to be some form of payment where people, or cryptocurrency, where people can process payments electronically. First of all, we all know that, whether it's Apple Pay and Apple makes their own crypto, whatever it is, we all first know that payments are going to be solely digital. It's like if you go on a run, I want to be able to have, I don't want to have to bring my wallet and my keys and my phone and everything. I just want to, and if I have to go to the grocery store, I'd rather just bring my phone, know that I could, pay for everything using Apple Pay, easy. So saying long term that crypto is never going to replace real money, that it's not going to happen, that it's not going to be a store of value, it's just false. It already is being used as a store of value. It already is replacing money. Look, in El Salvador. But now let's talk about the other portion of what he's saying, that crypto is going to crash. Yes, of course it's going to crash at some point. We don't know when, but he said the ultimate collapse of the crypto bubble is inevitable, so Bitcoin must be banned. If you look at it, crypto has crashed 4 or 5 times. It crashes every couple of years. It's happened all the time. Crypto crashed the other day, last month. It went from $60,000 a coin down to $30,000 a coin. It always crashes. And the stock market crashes. The stock market crashed during coronavirus. The stock market crashed in 2008, 2009. The stock market always is going to crash. So to say that he's not saying it's just going to crash. What this person thinks is that it's just going to end forever, which is impossible at this point. It's impossible. Yes, individual cryptos are probably going to crash. Some of them are going to disappear. We don't know what's going to end up being around a long time from now. But what we do know is that digital currencies are here to stay. So is Netherlands going to ban crypto? Possibly. We don't know. We've seen other countries do similar things. I think it would be a very silly move. It wouldn't make a lot of sense for that to happen. It just wouldn't be ideal for the economy long term. But we'll see what happens. That's really what's going on right now. If you guys want me to go live again later, let me know in the comments, in the chat. Let me know if you want. We could do 2 live streams a day, if you guys want. But let me know in the chat. But that's really all I got for you guys today. Let's look. Ooh, we're at 100 viewers. 100 viewers. Wow. I'm glad you guys like this though. If you have any questions ever, I want to make this not as much of like a lecture. I hate when YouTubers just like talk for like an hour, 40 minutes. I just rather, if I could have one of you FaceTime, that would be the best. Just do like almost a podcast. You can't do that, but let me know what you guys, any topics you want. I don't know if you guys saw, this isn't on our list for this video, but we're getting a lot of people watching. So with Cardano, I talked about it on the main channel. The main channel I have has 250,000 subscribers. On the main channel earlier, we spoke about Cardano, and right now Cardano has, they just rolled out Alonzo, the Alonzo upgrade. It has 3 different phases: blue, white, red, I believe is the third one. Right now they're in the first phase. And the important thing that just happened the other day is that with the smart contracts, they officially now are running on the Cardano network, which is very exciting. They are not ahead of schedule, but things are going right along well. They said they expect phase 2 of Cardano's process and the Alonzo upgrade to take place starting in July. So that's exciting. Other than that, there hasn't been too much news coming out on Cardano recently. Cardano is a coin that I'm very bullish on. I really like it. It's ranked number 5 in terms of all cryptos out there. It is one of my favorites, definitely by far one of the biggest positions in my portfolio. And if you guys haven't already checked it out, make sure to check out that video on my main channel. It has like 250,000 subscribers on it. If you guys are new here, you don't know me, so make sure to check that out. It's just my name, Michael Rubel. But what's up, John? What's up, Max, Michael, Anesh, Corbin? Been here the whole time. I've seen you. Rolando. Thank you. But yeah, that's really all I got for you guys. I think we'll go live again later today. We'll go live in the evening. So make sure to, I'll put a reminder in as soon as this video ends. I'll set the video up and just set the reminder if you can. That would really help me out. But I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I'll see you in a little bit. And this is going to be the format from now on. So see you, Daniel. See you, Corbin.